The Three Sides to a Story is a pop culture podcast provided as a public service, but is neither a legal interpretation nor a statement of policy. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by Three Sides to a Story or the hosts. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the podcast does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. Views and opinions expressed on Three Sides to a Story are those of the hosts and do not necessarily reflect the view of any entities they represent or any of its officials. If you have any questions about this disclaimer, please contact 502-696-5300 and ask Daniel Cameron why he didn't arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor.
Yo, you are now rocking with Three Sides to the Story, the pop culture podcast for the people. They say there's three sides to a story, one side, the other side of what it really is. Each episode will tackle topics from three perspectives, try to get to the truth. It's your boy Tony B with the homies Rex, Cruz, and Aubrey. Follow us on Instagram at Three Sides to a Story, on Twitter at Three Sides Pod, on Facebook at Three Sides Podcast. Subscribe, tune in, and turn us up on all your podcast platforms.
You're not rocking with the best.
I was sleeping. I was knocked out, but it's all good. We here now.
Beto, what up?
Beto, yeah.
What up? We back again?
We back. Yo. So, let's, Aubrey, you got your coffee and everything? You good?
Yeah, I got my coffee. I got coffee here. I got Canada Dry. I got some Jameson. I got a glass of water.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying.
That's what's up. What you got, T? What you got over there?
Now. I mean, I kind of feel like I'm missing a few essentials like Aubrey with the water and the ginger ale and everything. I mean, I'm literally over here with a bottle of Johnny Walker and a glass of ice next to it, but I could have used that water.
What you got, Beto?
Beto probably got a chunk of meat.
Nah,
Pause.
just water right here.
I heard somebody sipping that.
Oh yeah, that was coffee.
I got a water, 5 Rabbit, beer, sake.
Sake. Oh my god.
Yeah, and a can of.
Yo, man, that lunch
sake.
last week, man, put me out, bro.
Yo, shout out Canty.
Man, with Steve Canty.
Yeah, Greg did too.
Aubrey was like, come through. So I was like, yo, give me a few minutes. He hit me FaceTime. I told him, I was like, give me a second. He hit me back. He's like, yo, I'm going to sleep.
Yo,
this
man.
was all within like 4 minutes.
Dude, it was too much, man.
Yeah, I was wondering why
man.
you was texting afterwards. I was like, I know you asked about to go to sleep, man. Like,
dude, yeah, it was too much, man. That was too much MSG. Oh, yeah.
Not the Madison Square Garden either, huh?
right.
No, man. But that fish, man, that salt and pepper fish.
The salt and pepper joint.
That fish was fire.
Oh, man, that fish was good, man. That was some good food, man.
Beto, they was trying to call you out, bro. Every time it's food, I'd be like, man, Beto wouldn't have did this. He did it better.
Rex was about to send it back. Like, you know what? Actually, I was looking at. Can you do it like this IG post of Beto's?
I pulled up your page and showed the chef.
And he's like, make me one of these.
Yep.
They didn't validate Rex's parking after that.
They weren't going.
Hey, real quick too, I want to give a shout out. No, she may not hear it, but my homegirl Nancy Reyes just became the. I think she's the CEO of TBWA Shy Day New York. She just got promoted.
Nice.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
I thought you were gonna say Nancy Reagan for 2 seconds.
Nah,
Aubrey, actually hold that because we're gonna
say no to drugs.
We're actually going to get into that. So, like, I think that's going to be. I want you to talk about that when we get into that conversation, man.
That's what's
I thought Nancy Reagan and Aubrey were classmates. That's why I was thinking you were shouting out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Shouting out class of 1881.
What'd you say, 1881?
Yeah.
got the class ring.
You know,
that might be
stone.
brass. It might be made out of the stones from Stonehenge and shit. Like,
you know,
all right,
nah.
Aubrey, let's
we're playing.
Let's get into this Paul Pierce thing real quick, man. So your man's Paul Pierce, man. Shout out to Paul Pierce, man. But
the truth, he's still the truth.
He's still the truth. But he unfortunately got, had that little incident with the ESPN where he got let go on his day off, I think, right? Like,
that's no worse than getting fired on your day off.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Stripper gate.
Stripper gate, yeah. So he had that party with some stripper friends, in the building. But he was kind of wilding a little bit. He's blowing L's and on IG Live, he was doing all this for some reason, and like the video, of course, went viral. So then ESPN is like, "We're parting ways" or whatever, But then, we was talking about Rex. You mentioned he got that $250K offer from Cam Soda,
Right.
for their website, right? So, talk about that new gig.
Yo, what is Cam Soda, man? Is it just like a streaming service or what?
I mean, I think it's like it's a streaming service, but I mean, they were specifically looking for content from him that was, the $250K they were planning to pay him was to stream himself talking about the NBA with strippers twerking in the background. If he chose to. They said that's cool type thing. So I mean, who how much self snitching that is,
how much dry snitching and wet snitching.
Why would you get on camera man,
Hey, remember in '92 when we was in Houston at the championship? Remember we used to do this,
right? You know what I'm saying? So that shit just did not sound like a prosperous.
Me and such and such player. Me and such and such player. Me and such and such player. Yeah, I mean, what can really be right about that?
He don't need the bread, man. That dude made a shitload of money over his career, man.
I mean, it is nice steady to have income steady coming in, though. Something of course, especially.
But still, yeah, man. Come on, you gotta relax.
Yeah, of course. But going back to what you said, Aubrey, this site is not just like. I
just pulled it up.
Yeah, it's like a live sex cam, webcam,
free live sex cams, adult webcams.
Oh yeah, no, you gotta relax with that.
Yeah, so I mean, that's not good for his brand going from ESPN to that just because he did that shit on ESPN one day. And then the other thing we were talking about though is that they also recently revealed that, and we were talking about this, he lost a $1.5 million contract with ESPN as a result. So again, of course, he still got that NBA bread, but that's a nice contract to just be an analyst about some shit in and out. You know what I'm saying? This kind of
basically what we
sleep. You know what I'm saying?
It's what we're doing. As we're watching a game and just dissecting it with a little bit more personal. You know what I'm saying? I've been there. Type of aspect to it. Who wouldn't want to talk about something simple?
So he lost it. He lost it because he had young women twerking.
Not even the young women. I mean, it was the live situation. I mean, I'm sure it was just a combination of everything. I mean,
he was smoking trees.
Everybody's been to a bachelor party, obviously. So I mean, there's nothing.
He was at a bachelor party.
It was some function like that. I mean, I don't know if it was a quote unquote bachelor party, but I think
it had them vibes.
It had bachelor party vibe to it. You know what I mean? So he basically was like, "Yo, I'm going live." It
should have been on IG Live.
No, you should have made better judgment. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, what he was doing, not saying wasn't anything. I mean, obviously not passing judgment. There wasn't anything wrong. He was blowing a B and he was like, "Yo, I'm kicking it." You know what I mean?
Just don't do that on IG Live. Don't do it on.
You don't be doing that shit on live when you're on TV every day representing multiple brands, obviously.
Exactly. I mean, you don't do that unless you got an exit strategy or it was just a stupid mistake, right?
Or if you were live and you know what I'm saying, somebody else's, because you can't even be like, somebody hacked my phone and put that up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He was holding a camera at the phone. You know what I'm saying?
And it wasn't even like your boy was doing something like on IG Live and you was in the background, like trying to be low key, and you got popped off like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah, that's bad. That's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah, I had a party once, man, and when I was living in LA, and it was I think she was Miss America. She was probably a previous Miss America. I know that for sure. And it was a lot of weed smoking in the crib, a lot of shit going on, and I didn't realize that them motherfuckers still got paid over time. I think they get like a annual kind of
to still represent the brand.
Represent the brand. She was
really
protective of like, yo, I can't sit next to this person. You can't take no picture with me. I'm here for this. You know what I mean? Like she was
Yeah,
very
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yo,
yeah.
don't
Specific about certain things.
Yeah, and she had no security in it. She just came through the crib.
What?
Like, she just is making sure using her best judgment not to be.
She was
you know.
making, she made
Fuck
her,
around with that check.
Aubrey,
Bro,
and not even
come on,
make.
man. We all know how that works.
Yeah.
Right. Aubrey, not even making jokes here. What year was that?
This was probably
edit this clip before we put it out. You know, every time we saying this and you mention a brand, stop, take that out.
Yeah, for sure. This had to be 2005, 4, something like that.
Well, okay, so it was all right. So
it was still social media, but it was
the
only
beginning of social media shit.
no,
Yeah,
but
it was-
I think, but like you
not
said,
the
she was like
beginning,
Miss America or something, right?
Yeah.
So like I think that's crazy that in 2000 whatever that was, like that someone like in that capacity, in a Miss America capacity, is still thinking about that, because like that goes back like to the 80s with Vanessa Williams, right? Like,
Yeah.
so like that is still like that and that was before social media, right? But that was
It
Playboy
was
also, right?
MySpace. At that time, MySpace was popping, and what was the name
probably
of it? And Black
the
Planet.
beginning of
so-
Facebook and all them types of things were starting
Yeah.
to probably.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. So I mean, damn, that's like something that just like hanging over. Like,
But she
shit.
wasn't gonna fuck that check up, whatever that little check is.
Hell no.
She
Why
wasn't gonna
would you?
fuck it up, you know. So
Yo,
I
speaking
get
of
it.
payment,
You got to be smarter.
you gotta be smarter. Gotta be smarter. Don't put your shit out there like that.
Best
especially you.
judgment.
Yeah, use your judgment. But speaking of payments, though, let's talk about Bitcoin, man.
What you got on mine?
Bro, I was looking at this shit today. I mean, obviously, like this shit started popping off like a few years back. Obviously, and like some cats invested like big early, and so I'm gonna make a bank off it. Made bank off of it. Now I think we're also kind of seeing like the evolution of it, right, coming into play in like real life money moves, right? You got an NFL player getting paid in partially in Bitcoin, right? Like Russell, how do you say his last name? Okong?
Akong, I think it is.
Yeah. You know, he told the Panthers like he wanted half of his $13 million contract in Bitcoin, right? So
That's wild, man.
yeah,
That's wild.
yeah. So
Everything is negotiable.
yeah, so they were saying like it made him the first NFL player to get paid in cryptocurrency, but then I was reading something about it, and apparently he's still getting paid in dollars, but then his team converts that half to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But still, right? Like that's I think this dude is like smart, right? Because when
Forward thinking of it, right?
the forward thinking, right? Because like Beto, we talk about this a lot, right? Me and you on the stock side, right? Like when he did this, Bitcoin was valued at like what 30K, I think, right? And today I checked, and one Bitcoin is worth 63 plus K.
Yeah.
Right? So with that 6.5K he got paid in Bitcoin, he's basically doubled up now, right?
Oh,
Mhm.
easy. Yep.
Imagine what Paul Pierce could have did with that money. with that 1 point fever he just threw away.
Right? You know, throw that on that Bitcoin. Throw that on the
Yo,
Bitcoin.
can you how fast is I wonder how long it takes to cash out on that shit though.
For what?
Bitcoin.
To cash out Bitcoin? I actually cashed out my Bitcoin on Saturday, and I'm still waiting for it to deposit. So, but it was supposed to deposit today, and I think it'll probably deposit tomorrow.
So like 7 days at max.
Probably, yeah, probably 7 days. I mean, I did it on a Saturday. They probably said 5 business days. But again, I mean, right now it is hard to use just because not a lot of places take it.
Yeah.
But I think as time goes on, more and more people are just going to adapt, Bitcoin as a
Option.
payment. Yeah, I think Apple's working on something. I think Tesla just said you could buy,
Yeah, I saw
cars
Tesla.
with Bitcoin. Yeah.
Certain stadiums.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
I
yeah,
mean,
man.
Europe and some of the, Asian countries and those types of things are going to 1, 2, 3, 4 are going to be popping, not popping, but, obviously accepting, and those types of things come probably, before us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I
sure.
mean, I think that might be kind of like a new wave with like, especially as like
Well, it's not
younger
even new, but yeah.
younger players are coming in. Well, I mean, like just in terms of how people are structuring their contracts, like I mean, because this guy was the first guy to do that, right? So, I mean,
Man,
it's
one of the
smart,
next
man.
jobs we get, one of us, if we take a job, man, we should ask for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Like,
Why
man,
not?
Give me that shit in Bitcoin. I don't want no cash.
I mean, yeah.
Yep.
But you can't pay rent with you can't pay your mortgage.
No,
with
exactly.
Bitcoin.
No, you got to get part of it.
Yeah.
Right.
3/4 of it.
But I think that's another interesting thing too. It keeps popping up in these spaces, right? Like, now that Dogecoin and Coinbase has also been in the news lately, and Coinbase this week too, because that coin stock listed this week, right? So, and they said this is expected to reach over like 100 billion. In valuation, right? And your boy, the God Nas, was one of the few to make early investments in Coinbase too, right? And like we were looking at that link earlier, like Nasdaq is saying that he could make 100 million off of his initial investment, right?
Payday, cha-ching.
Dude, that's
Payday.
I remember he cashed in on that ring too as well.
The ring, Nas is smart, man, because like this was a few years back, right? When he started that venture capitalist group, like
yeah,
right?
yeah. Before anybody was doing it, yeah.
Right. Before everybody was doing it. So like Rex, like you said, Ring, then what else was it? Dropbox, Lyft, Robinhood. He invested in all them joints. Like that's
Yep.
Salute to Nas, man.
That's power plays right there.
Yeah, man. And
Hey man, y'all have y'all ever invested in crack? Like have y'all ever gave somebody some money, man, to like sell crack, man?
Nope.
Nah, not
I
in
mean, the
crack.
statute of limitations is over. The statute of limitations is over.
Yeah, various other
40
things, but
something years
definitely
old.
tell us that
not
story,
crack
though,
though.
Albert.
Oh no, I've invested in crack before.
I seen niggas cooking crack.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
Yeah.
that smell is hideous. But
I definitely
yeah,
seen that.
I mean, I don't know why I asked that. I was just wondering, like, but I think
not
that's the
investing
early,
particulate. Yeah.
yeah, that's the early investment of like trying to
Back in
win
the
real
day.
quick. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
Your guy didn't have no money, but he had to hustle and be like, "Hey man, all right, I'm gonna give you this.
I'm gonna give you a couple on that.
Yeah, and kick me back on that. That was the first. I guess it wasn't the first, but it was one of those same kind of venture deals,
Well,
So-
I mean, it's not just crack, I guess, right? Like, I mean,
Nah, that was the first one I invested in.
yeah, I mean, it's all that shit, right? But I hear what you're saying, though. Yeah. But I guess, like to your point, there, Nas always, say for example, talk about shit like that, like in,
To
It's
trying to
music.
kick knowledge.
right? You know what I'm saying? And but now, I mean, like all these, I think that the dope thing about this is like hearing things like this is like I think a lot of Nas's moves, like these business moves, are gone like kind of under the radar. When Jay does like a deal or something like,
Everything's headline.
yeah, it's like, oh, Jay-Z this, did this, Jay-Z did this, and like a lot of Nas shit goes like under the radar, and not downplaying anything Jay-Z's doing. Obviously, these are fucking monumental moves he's making and business deals he's creating and moving. But like with Nas, I mean, man, he's been making chess moves on the low the whole time too, and he's cashing out. I think it's a beautiful thing to see. Both of them killing shit on another level,
Yeah, it's dope, man. It's dope because they put themselves in a situation to be there with Puff. You know what I mean? And like Puff is somebody hard to catch up with.
Yeah, Puff's been doing it.
Puff has been doing it. Russell Simmons has been doing it.
Puff was doing Puff
been doing it,
was
though.
focused on doing that while they were focused on the music, right? So like,
Yeah, exactly.
you know what I'm saying? So like,
Puff definite.
yeah, it was never just about the music for Puff. It was always about how do we monetize this further, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's crazy. Puff. How the hell you call yourself Puff?
Puff.
Hey, get busy though.
Yeah.
Puff Daddy. What? The
Yeah,
fuck?
we can't talk too much about Puffy on this podcast.
No, not at all. That's why I just said, but still, yeah, and that's still the G though. Definitely across the board.
100%.
I mean, those are the three kings, in the game, like especially from our era, like Puff,
Man,
Moguls.
moguls.
your
Puff,
boy Big
Nas,
said.
and,
Your boy Big was
Jay.
talking about being right there though too. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flipping lanes real quick here, man. KD, was also an early investor though in all this shit too, like in his Coinbase, and also in Postmates. He was before they sold Uber, so like he's smart too.
Who they sold to?
Uber.
Oh yeah.
So he invested $1 million before that. So he's definitely banking. So they were saying like they don't know how much he invested in Coinbase, But like market watch and like they were saying, like based on these previous investments, like he threw the 1 million at what were we just talking about, Postmates before they sold the Uber. So like think about how much he cashed out on that. So they were saying like imagine if he invested $1 million in Coinbase at the time, and they were saying basically he could be making like up to like 53 million, something like that, from this. So man, like,
yo, you get man, that's big boy moves.
Cats got to get ready, man. Not even get ready. You got to be ready. Cats are ready. It's already cooking. You just, you know what I mean? It's a whole.
Yeah, speak on it, Rex.
No, it's just a whole shakeup of everything that's happening. I mean, across multiple boards. I mean, obviously, your currency is the main thing. I mean, everybody needs it, and it's like if you ain't,
but you can't get in the game with $5, Rex, either.
No, not at all. We know you can't. You know, that's the whole fucked up part, right?
That's the fucked up part.
But on the flip side of that, like, and Beto, I want you to speak on this also. Like, we talk about this, like, I guess a lesson learned also for all of like everybody, like paying attention to any of that these moves these cats are making is do your homework, but also like obviously only invest like these guys are doing it on a different playing field
on a large scale, right?
Yeah, so like like Beto, like you like always say like only invest what you're willing to lose or whatever, right? But do it early, right? Like these guys did it early and be smart about it, right? Then like
right. Well, I mean, I assume they also have financial people that's around them that's kind of telling them, hey, you know what, this is a good thing to get into now, and so I mean, they actually have access to maybe wealth managers and people who actually know like what moves to make and what potential plays to move on, but. I mean, as far as for the regular person, I mean, we don't have access to that other than the internet and maybe, like a Robinhood account, So, I mean,
hollering at your homies.
The information's out there. You just really got to do your homework,
Do your homework, right? I think that's the main thing. Like, obviously they, like you said, like they obviously have people doing the homework for them also, right?
No, exactly.
But yeah, I think you're right. Like that's like, that's the main thing. Like, and speaking of like all this new shit, like NFT, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's some wild shit, man. I'm just not hearing about that shit about 2 weeks ago. That shit blew my wig.
It's crazy. So like this thing called the NFT Bible, says it's non-fungible tokens. Right, that are unique digital items.
Yep.
Blockchain managed ownership, and they can be like shit like game items, digital art, event tickets, domain names.
It's basically one ofs. I mean, it's like it's like almost. I mean, obviously, definitely don't quote me and do your own math or whatever, but it would be, I guess, kind of in layman's terms, if you bought the original to everything, right? And it's almost like owning like the virtual copyright of such.
You own the virtual, through blockchain.
Pretty much.
So if I did this dope ass like Mad Men poster, and I put it online or whatever and showed it, people could take screen grabs of it, right? They can get the low res
reprints
version, the reprints, but that means that one person would own the original unflattened file. You know what I mean? Like you would own the original high res comp of whatever I did.
And back in the day would have been like the original Mona Lisa or whatever.
Yeah. But it's just digital though. So you don't physically have the asset, right? So
no, you don't. But you can print it.
You do.
I mean, you can print whatever it is at the highest rate that anybody in the world is going to be able to get it at. You know what I mean? Like yours will always look better than anybody else's. But it's still a digital asset.
Everything is.
You know what I do love about this, y'all, man, is that finally the nerds finally win. That's what I love about this.
The artists, it's not even so much.
It's not even the nerds.
Well, no, it's not the nerds, bro. It's bigger. It's actually bigger because what it does is it's a bigger play because essentially it's like it's to shoot straight from the hip is essentially not going after, but it eliminates things like the Federal Reserve and it starts to kind of peck away at the elite aspect of certain things, if you would. You know what I mean?
Nah.
Still,
so what I mean by that is that for years, artists, when I say nerds, I mean artists and Photoshop geeks and Illustrator geeks and all those guys. Like, they finally fucking win.
Yeah,
like
I knew
now,
that's what you were saying. But I'm saying I think still that's like a small piece of it. Go ahead though.
I think that's the biggest piece. It
is the biggest piece.
Like, because now if I can create something that people love online and I don't get compensated for it, and that's been happening for years and years and years, whether it was through watercolors or acrylics or graffiti, now I can create a 101 and potentially sell it and change my life. Like, that's
and
never
not have
happened.
any questions about it,
Dude, that's never happened for art before, right? Like,
yeah, that's true.
That's never happened before. Like, this is
shifting. But it's art. I mean, you could even think of like memorabilia collectors. Like, if there's like a virtual signature, you know what I mean? Like, how is, a Michael Jordan autograph, whatever, you know what I'm saying? There's
somebody is doing it. I saw that, like a signature.
Yeah. I didn't even, but I'm just, again, just kind of not saying freestyling, but just using like,
I hear you. But I think that's once removed, right?
But
that's like me. No, it is. That's from the seller point of view. That's like me getting something that's a signature. Like, what's art about signature? Like, so if you're saying like,
but it's not all about art though. I'm saying the art is definitely one huge piece about it.
That's exactly it, right? It's not all about art.
It's currency. It's a currency aspect. It's ownership of everything across the board. I mean, it's art. It's your IP. It's what I'm saying. I mean, it can be something as simple as like
ownership rights of physical assets.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Art is it's across.
Hold on, what do you mean? So I can sell a record that I have right now and make it an NFT?
Yeah, in a sense, yes, you can. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can essentially probably do like music. You know what I'm saying? Like hey.
Yeah, a couple examples, right? The Gumball family, right? Rex, Bun, B, and Brandon Adams. They just did an NFT collaboration. Like
but they did an art and music, right?
Yeah, it was like a piece of art with like a portrait of Bun that Brandon did, and there was some music element associated with it. Peyton Manning and Eli Manning are doing some NFT auction for charity, but then like again, like we were talking about it, goes from like that to then like Tom Brady's launching, from charitable stuff to like art, like that we just said with Bun and them, to like Tom Brady doing it, like he's launching a company, so people are monetizing.
I was in to what you're saying off the Tom Brady. I was in one of Clubhouse joints the other day. Just obviously, I'll pop in if it's something that really catches me. But
Clubhouse influencer Rex Cruz here.
You know it.
Holler at him.
I'm out there signing virtual autographs and shit. But one of the guys in there was saying that he's working on a thing with your boy Money Mayweather, and I'm presuming just kind of how it sounded. It's probably something. And I don't know all the details, obviously, what Tom Brady's doing, but it's something going into that probably similar vein, but it's sports memorabilia and that type of stuff, fundraising.
Like,
yeah. So it's to I mean, not to say to build off of what Aubrey was saying, it's definite the art, but then it's just ownership across the board.
Yeah, that's
because I mean, I'm thinking like. Down the line, I mean, I don't know, like property, things of that nature, and all those things essentially probably move.
These motherfuckers just did Sotheby's and put it online and said it's called NFT.
See what I'm saying?
It's Sotheby's, yo. It's Sotheby's online.
Until niggas get in there and start jacking it up.
Yeah, Beto, what did you say? What did you say earlier about that buddy who sold his fart as an NFT? What the fuck?
Basically made an NFT of his fart and sold it for like 85 bills.
But that's what I mean. So I guess back to Aubrey, to your point, it is art, right? I mean, not saying that's like an artistic thing, but if you can figure out how to be more than art, it's creative. You can figure out some shit. You can figure out some shit that there's a niche for. I guess do it, right? But what I was saying, Joe, it just shows, that it's just opening a bunch of other things.
Yeah.
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 It's bigger than rap.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, we're gonna have a lot to talk about in the next coming month or two, man. I got a big announcement coming up about NFT and
shit.
And my family. You know,
Quiet.
No. You know,
hey
with the
man,
family.
are you breaking us off on this?
Man, listen, I wish I could, man. I ain't getting broke. Well, I probably will get broke off, but nah, it's like, you know, my family jumped in early, so there's gonna be an announcement, but not, you know, it's nothing like crazy, but it's gonna be like groundbreaking for my, you know, for my siblings and I. So
there it is.
I'll make that announcement. As soon as it happens, I'll let y'all know.
You already know I'm a good bag carrier.
But I ain't about to be no millionaire. Don't get it twisted.
Not with that attitude, Aubrey.
Yeah, no, real
still
quick,
got spots in my gas.
Also, Aubrey, shout out. Speaking of Aubrey's family, shout out to Charlie Pomper, man. We were just seeing that joint on Heist and Abide about that. That art showcase, that like
the Honey Jack shit,
yeah. So that's dope, man. I still work on that, and that's dope to see it. When I scrolled through and I saw that, I was like, "Yo, that's Charlie's shit!" Like, John Legend cover, and then we saw that profile art they got on him on the website. So salute to your family, Aubrey. Shout out,
salute to that brother, man. Wait till y'all see what's about to happen, man. It's about to be crazy in this motherfucker.
CP.
So I got a question for y'all, man.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all ever play Big Bank Take Little Bank? Did that exist in Chicago?
Hell yes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yes. In high school, all the time.
Yeah, I used to lose like a motherfucker.
Used to get your lunch money taken all the time.
Man, I used to be on the back of the bus, city bus, doing it with cash, knowing I only had like $5, just trying to see what they had.
Mm-hmm.
And them cats would always, they was always calling my bluff on that shit. And like, damn, motherfucker took my last $5. Now I got to hop on the back of the bus.
Man,
so yeah, that shit was crazy.
You know when people used to get real brave about Big Bank Take Little Bank, like on somebody's birthday or on like graduation, or bro. You it's like, man, I've literally seen people lose all of their graduation money in dice games and Big Bank Take Little Bank, like literally on the day. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't. I've hit my head a couple times.
I've also taken people's money.
You ain't never take in
such games on such nights.
You ain't never get pulled up on a re-up day and have a homie ask you about Big Bank Take Little Bank though.
Nah.
Who want that smoke?
Nobody. Unless somebody about to die in that room. Straight up.
I have.
Yeah.
Speak on it, Rex.
Man, I can't
speak on that. Nah, I can't speak on that.
You know, man. Rex is a good guy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I got a whole collection, man. I got to show you. I got this beautiful collection of Jet Magazine Beauty of the Week.
I know you do. Why does that not surprise me at all?
Yeah, word. Like, hey, Rex, did I ever show it to you?
Mm-mm.
Dude, I swear to God, I got a little small record collection.
Yeah.
And then I
know that one.
Yeah, but then I have the Ice-T album with him and
Darlene,
Evil E and Darlene, where they got the pistols behind their back.
Yeah,
and I got that album cover. I ain't got the album. Pop was it? Was that Pop? Yeah, that was Pop.
All white. Then.
Yeah, that was Power. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you go inside there, boy, I wish I could show you all these motherfuckers. I got about maybe 25 of them in there. I pulled out of the Jet Magazine. Dude, probably starting from 88, going to, maybe 90, 99? No, 91, 92, 93. So about 3 years worth of them. But they my top joints, man. That shit is crazy. And what's funny about Jet Magazine, man, if you ever set it on the table, if you just set it on the table, it'll open up to the Beauty of the Week. You ever notice that?
It was in the middle, right?
Yeah, it was always in the middle.
Yeah.
If you just sit it on the table and on the corner of it.
With the natural crease.
The natural crease on it.
So you would naturally open it right to that, yeah.
It would naturally open it right to that shit. And then on the other side of the Beauty of the Week, it would always be like whatever celebrity was out, in public and got caught. Like, hey, Luther Vandross, You know what I mean? Luther Vandross is going to Mr. Childs, and then on the inside it'd be a chick. And all the baddest chicks used to be in Jet magazine was from Detroit, Michigan. Michigan always had the baddest ones according to Jet. You know, and DC and Washington DC. So what?
When we used to go when I'd go grocery shopping with my mom, I'd just pull up. I'd be like, I'd meet you in a bit, and just kind of ballpark about where she'd be, and I'd go straight to the magazine section, just lean up in that boy, roll through between. It was funny because I'd hit the Ebony Jet. You know, I'd hit the Right On. I'd hit the
wrestling Right On, man.
Yeah, you know, the wrestling joints. You know,
you know who used to
everything. I used to
who used to stay on Right On magazine. You know who owned that cover?
Bobby Brown, who
New Edition, bro.
New Edition, New Edition was on them shits all the time, dude, bro.
They used to have fold-out posters in there. I used to
that's right. Yeah,
hell yeah.
A lot of the magazines did. The Source and all them shits back in the day.
Man, this before the Source, so these joints had the 4-page fold-out turned into like a little 2.5 foot joint.
Yeah, dude. I used to have them motherfuckers on my wall. You know what, dude? That's crazy that. Man, we should take this offline, but there's something interesting about magazines and like being able to take shit out the magazine and you know what I mean? That textile.
Oh yeah, man, putting that shit on your wall. Dude, that was
I
everything.
used to have that was everything in actually, so my room was mad posters from them joints.
Yeah.
Mike Jackson, the New Edition niggas. Mm-hmm. You know, I had stickers, like random Star Wars stickers and shit. You know what I mean? But I stole one of
the posters from one of the movie theaters in Milwaukee. Of what was the name of that movie with Shaq? Him and Penny. I had that shit in my college dorm. Blue Chips. I had a big ass Blue Chips poster.
That was filmed in Indiana, by the way.
Tony B get Indiana.
Congratulations,
motherfucker! One of the 3 players. The motherfucker that he didn't mention. There were 3 players in that movie, and he didn't. No, it was a white boy from motherfucking IU, Matt Nova. It was about Penny Hardaway, Matt Nova, and fucking. Not that Matt Nova ever did shit, but
you know Tony B put his rider together already.
Man,
get out of here, man.
That's when Tony B was working for the local
Indiana
newspaper.
high school gym, son. Oh yeah, get out.
Beto, Tony B was working for the Indiana newspaper back then. You know what I'm saying? You know he was.
You know they created incense in Indiana.
And those they put them in the riders.
We invented the hard drive.
Fuck you, Aubrey. what y'all inventing Milwaukee cheese?
That was some random knowledge, though, Tony B.
It wasn't, motherfucker. You were talking about blue chips. How was it random? You brought up blue chips.
I'm sure Shaq didn't go there to shoot blue chips. I'm sure that.
I swear to God,
they shot the white boy there, and then they shot everything else.
Motherfucker, the whole movie was shot in Indiana. Those gyms they play basketball in. Was it
Tony B built them.
do your Googles, motherfucker.
Put his name in Google and see what come up.
Do your Googles and look up
BALASANDR.
Hey, motherfucker, don't be spelling out my motherfucking name out here. Hey, Beethoven, you gonna have to beep all that shit out after the B, bro.
Let's look at the first 10 letters going and beep everything after that.
Mark over here giving out my motherfucking social security number and shit.
You don't think motherfuckers know who you are? All you gotta do is look up Tony B. Your ass come up.
That's all that'll come up. Well, Tony B, no.
No, you can find your last name.
Those 19 letters after.
Especially them old ass pictures when you had a Caesar. You shit look terrible.
He said you had a Caesar.
That motherfucker was taking. He had the Caesars and flowers and shit. Remember that shit?
Motherfucker, you got a reverse widow's peak over there, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here.
The backwards Batman.
Oh, there's somebody named DJ Tony B.
Let's not talk about hairlines out here, Aubrey.
Oh, I'm bald. I've been bald for a little time. Yeah. Hey, you know who DJ Tony B is?
Fucking DJ Tony B. I don't know who the fuck it is.
I'm just. They look like you. You look up DJ Tony B on Twitter.
Hilarious.
Jokes and jokes.
Jesus Christ.
What kind of music you listen to? Speaking of high school, what with the DJ? What you was listening to? I know you was listening to. Everybody was listening to hip hop, but what else you was listening to?
Who you talking to?
Whoever.
Let's talk to Beto about that. Because I know what Bass gonna. He gonna say some old ass shit, old man.
No,
shit.
I mean,
some Diamond Girl.
No, yeah, I was DJing all my all the hip hop that I picked up, but I did obviously Chicago house. Grew up actually learning how to beat match with house music, and then slowly made the transition. But yeah, house music.
Man, house music is one of the worst abominations of music, man. I'd rather listen to Chinese Polish music.
He said Chinese Polish music.
Straight
Why
up.
you gotta be so racist, Aubrey? Damn.
That's not racist, bro. I'm just saying, like, Polish music is terrible.
Chinese,
But I'd rather
Polish
listen
like the
music.
polka.
Like,
Chinese music or Polish music.
you had to
I'd
offend
rather
like two
listen to that.
communities. Like,
No, I'm not. I mean,
Shit
house
on
music
both of
is,
their music?
house music is black music, so I ain't saying nothing bad about black people. I'm just saying I don't want to hear that shit. That shit is terrible, man. That shit don't play in Milwaukee, man.
You got to. I'm not a house fan, but you got to play it the right way. I could tolerate it in a sense, but I can't. I'm like,
And it's got
exclusive.
House music needs a makeover. Like, they need a physical makeover because
It also depends what house music we talking. You know what I mean? Like Chicago house is cool.
Dude, yeah, I don't know. The problem with me, man, for house music is like it's fucking disco music, man. Like, if it's gonna be disco, just call it fucking disco music, man. Like,
I ain't trying to hear techno.
that's not house music.
I don't think that's. I don't
So I'm
think
saying,
that's
don't give me
100%
none of that
accurate.
bullshit.
It's
I
not.
don't think that's-
It's not fully. You can't call it fully disco.
Dude,
Some
house
of the
music
disco
is
house,
disco, bro.
Some of
Some
the
of
disco
it is, but
houses.
you can't. But I don't think you can call it fully disco. I think there's definitely a
I mean, disco is disco.
difference between pure disco and pure house.
Dude, if I'm not
100%.
mistaken, house music has a certain BPM, right? Right, Beto, or no?
I mean, I would say right around the 120s,
Exactly.
122s.
So therefore, that is dance music. That is not sit in the corner and chill and vibe music and be reflective. That means get on the dance floor and get sweaty, no matter what you do. So,
Man, I wish I lived next door to you, Aubrey. I would put a speaker
dude,
outside
oh my
and
God.
just play house
Just
music.
blast Chicago
I
house
would be
music.
like Beto, pull up and just spin all night.
Well, I had a
Tony B. Tony B. Give him about 9 weeks.
dude. Listen, I had this.
We'll be able to do that in about.
Dude,
the
my
yard
old
looked
crib over on-
I saw a couple spots in that yard for a couple speakers.
Instead of putting your spelling your name out there, we're gonna be like, meet us over here.
Dude, I had a neighbor off of
Come
Washington.
make it nice with us.
in the back.
Right.
This chick, man, used to have a big ass speaker, and she faced it towards my apartment building on Washington, man. Like, it was ridiculous, man. And it would be like
On Washington.
in Washington.
No, you didn't say that. You didn't say. I'm just talking.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, but it was like some Ukrainian like disco music, man. Like, and she would play that shit loud, bro. Like loud, like ridiculously until like 10, 11 o'clock at night. And the speaker was just bumping through the whole fucking neighborhood. And nobody would even be outside. She was just bumping that shit on some disrespect.
Just to be a jerk.
Just be a fucking jerk, man.
Just to get a rep.
Mm-hmm. So lay off the house music, ladies and gentlemen. Lay off. So then hold on.
Unless you want Beto to pull up.
Yeah, no.
Listen to that pimp music, right, Albert?
Yo, hold on. So I want to continue what Mark
Whispers.
was talking about. What was the music he was listening to, and what did you say? What it was, Rex, in high school?
Oh, like in high school and shit or whatever outside of rap. Personally, I was fucking with like. Go ahead, T.
Oh no, go ahead, Rex. You
No, man, you go ahead. You was probably gonna say some iller shit. Go ahead.
I mean, I was gonna say obviously, like you said, it was the hip hop shit. Like high school, especially like my senior year was like Wu-Tang Forever just dropped and shit like that. Like the year before that was Biggie and Empire. Like it was a lot of like that shit. But like outside of that, I would say it was like Nirvana.
Man, that's funny. That's literally what I was just sitting here. I'm looking at the fish tank and I was just rolling a bunch of things. And as you said that, I was like, Nirvana. Go ahead.
Yeah, I fuck with Nirvana. I remember in high school, listening to Jimi Hendrix in high school.
Yeah.
But like on that, like I guess newer side, like maybe Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Some of those like bands that were coming up like at the same time, like as like I guess on the flip side of what like
Soundgarden.
Yeah. That alternative kind of
Stone Temple
space,
Pilots.
Stone Temple Pilots, Green Day, and all them bands.
I was I didn't even lie. I was going to all those shows.
Yeah.
I mean, the rap joints, of course, the hip hop joints, of course, as well. And plus, some of them shits they was trying to mix together a little bit here and there. But realistically, a lot of them shits is what the shits that I was fucking Rage Against the Machine.
Rage was heavy. Yeah.
Black Crows.
I could just see Rex now at a Limp Bizkit concert.
No, I don't. No, you know what? Dude, Limp Bizkit, not the Limp Bizkit. But that's funny. Not that one. But more like the Pilots, Soundgarden,
Rage Against the Machine, definitely.
Rage Against the Machine with Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
I 9 Inch Nails. You know what I'm saying? I'd seen 9 Inch Nails several times. Pearl Jam.
All those bands were like super cracking at that time, right? Like 96, 95 to
94,
94 to like 98. Yeah.
Yeah.
93 probably to 98. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was what was heavy rotation on like MTV,
radio, everything. Like
they would have what's some joints called what's some shits they would have, I can't remember the name, but they would do like those I'm tripping, bro, the original Lollapaloozas. Cats wasn't going. Bates, I'm sure you was going to them back in the day when it was like,
it was definitely not
Boys.
It was like maybe a couple of hip hop acts.
Ice Cube was like the only hip hop artist one year. It was literally like 14 bands and 2 like Busta Rhymes. You know what I mean? Tribe Called Quest, Beastie Boys, Ice Cube, but then it was all them other joints. You know what I mean? That shit was ill. Right. And they just outgrew that shit and then brought it, like, didn't do it here for like 4 or 5 years. And next thing it was like, boom, downtown.
Rex, I think it's dope you brought this up because I think that time was like a really interesting time because like you mentioned, like Rage and Wu-Tang toured when when Wu-Tang Forever came out, right?
Yeah.
So, right. So, and I remember like that at that time, like the like alternative and the like hip hop, there was like a definite like merging like between those two cultures, right? Like, and I remember like when we were in high school, like when we used to do like parties and shit, like we would always try to get like hip hop like groups and shit, and then like also like bands to perform at these joints, right? Yeah. So then we have bring both of them audiences in and just make bank off of this shit. But that it would always be dope to have like a combination of that shit, like, and then like we started seeing like those like the crossover shits, right? Like,
yep, that was interesting. You said that because when we first started doing like shows and parties and shit. That was our rule of thumb. It was make sure always, obviously, a couple of our guys, shout out Mo, DJ Mo, but the DJ, we was rocking with Filthy Rich, Vic, Usual Suspects, and then a band. Regardless, it always had to be a band. Some sort of band was in there. I mean, you can check out, find the footage if there is. But that's how we were doing it. It was always the band, the artists, and then the DJs, just because that was the live shit.
That's it, man. Yeah.
But anyway, just on some random shit.
Nah, that was dope actually. To me back. Aubrey fell asleep over there.
No, I'm here.
Man.
I'm chilling.
Okay.
I'm chilling, man.
That, I heard. Well, we all know why. I was just gonna say about with the chilling, just kind of you couldn't get around too much anyway. I heard they your girl TT Lori open up the bridges or whatever to keep cats from moving around in the city this evening.
This motherfucker called her TT Lori.
TT. He said TT. Yeah, man. I mean, like, obviously, like.
Wait, real quick before you go into it, I guess city of Chicago was just doing casual maintenance tonight.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think obviously this should have started to hit too close. Been hitting too close to home, right? But now, like, it'd be hitting too close to home, like, on a regular basis here, right? Like.
Well, it's almost to the point where it's almost like you're not, and I don't mean it again the wrong way, almost like you're almost immune to it. You know what I mean? Like you anticipate it, right?
Yeah, so. Let's talk about this Chicago situation first and foremost, I guess, because like it's pressing for us right now, right? Like,
well, it's pressing for everybody.
Yeah, man. I mean, so like for those that don't know, like in Chicago, this kid Adam Toldeo, how old was he? 13?
Yeah, like 13.
13
was shot. Yeah, was shot and killed in a foot pursuit. Apparently, they're saying there was some call to the police about like people kids shooting at a car or
the
something.
responder. Well, it's the you got in Chicago, and I'm sure other cities, but you have like the shot responders, right? So in theory, not in theory, but essentially, they're able to kind of tell within a proximity there's been a gunshot. There's gunshots within this zone, we'll say, right?
Got you.
So they were responding in tune to those things.
Got you.
Yeah, to the shot responder.
No,
go ahead.
Appreciate you clarifying that. Thank you. Yeah, so then the cop, gave chase, got out of his whip, gave chase in an alley. In the video, it looked like he pushed the kid out of the way to get to the other kid, right?
Man, I'm still kind of seeing and piecing it together. I've been kind of
I don't want to watch. I'm not gonna watch that shit, bro.
Tuned out, but
and anyway, what happened was that when the CPD, when it happened, I think this was in December. When was it, in December or some shit? It was a while back, right?
I don't even know.
They just released the body cam footage. Maybe not December. Don't quote me on that. But I know they just released the footage because the family
within maybe the last month. I think it was.
Yeah. And so they released the footage, but before they released the footage, they said it was an armed confrontation, right? So now that the body cam footage was released, we see that Adam turned, faced the cop with both hands up, and they said they did find a gun at the scene, and they're saying he tossed it, which I guess he very well.
It was tossed.
Yeah,
he tossed it. It was tossed.
Yeah,
happened March 29th.
March 29th. Sorry, not December. March 29th. Yeah, so he tossed it, right? But at the time of the shooting, they said it was an armed confrontation, and technically at the time of the shooting, he complied even if he threw the gun away, right? Because he threw the gun away and threw his hands up, right? Go ahead, Rex.
No, finish and then I'm going to respond to something. But go ahead.
I was just going to say, but never to, defend the police in these situations. But in this case, though, I did hear, people saying in a split second decision moment, responding to a call for a shooting at a whip, or the responder going off or whatever. What do you really do? And then on the flip side of that, I guess, they always say comply or die, but he did.
It's a split. It's kind of a, and obviously I don't want to say I'm saying it from a neutral perspective, but I'm obviously it's beyond unfortunate that this situation is where it is right now. One among obviously many, but if you were a civilian and you broke into my house or something of that nature, right? Just kind of take the police away, and we'll just say we'll hold you to the a standard, right? That you're expected to, as a licensed gun holder, we'll say, you're right. If you're in that situation and something that nature happens, and obviously there's footage, and at that time there's no immediate threat, right? First of all, the homie technically doesn't, regardless of what you're responding to, right, or what happens. The guy doesn't have the kid doesn't have the firearm in his hand, and he's obviously in a submissive position, right? Submitting, it's not a non-threatening scenario, right?
Yeah.
There's no immediate threat. And I know you're responding in theory to a threat, but there's no immediate threat. And take away if it's not a cop. If this is a civilian and you kick in my door and you don't come in and I come out and, et cetera, and it goes to that, and I shoot you, I'm responsible for that.
Yeah.
Because I'm held to a higher standard because I should be educated. I should know the law, right?
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Regardless of what you're responding to, regardless that you broke into my house, regardless of if you put it in a civilian terms and you put the scenario as close to apples, you're going to be in trouble as a person who shot the other person who is technically unarmed and who is a non-threatening person.
And I think that's the problem, right? That
is the problem.
Right. These last two situations we're, seeing, that have been heavy in the news. And
those are the only ones that you're seeing.
Yeah, but it's they're it's I guess the narrative they're saying is like, well, these cops are like, and what are they supposed to do in these situations? But it's like, well,
it is a fucked up situation. It's a fucked up job.
Yes, but you're supposed to be trained for those situations, right?
But they're not.
They're not. So like that's when we say like when you're hearing things like people saying defund the police and people get so mad about it. On the flip side of that, what the fuck is the funding going to if it's not going to training them for these situations?
It should be into the training.
Like,
yeah. Because they're not trained, man. I mean, like you going to get a concealed carry license, and I don't mean it disrespectfully, but outside of like whatever, the physical part, I'm going to say you're more trained or as trained as a good amount of them as a police, just in regards to like how to process these types of scenarios,
Yeah.
And this is what I've spoken to police and this is what they're telling me. So this is not like me like making this up. You know what I'm saying? This is me speaking with other police that I know and SWAT team members and people of that saying that the training that, you go for your concealed carry, and it's specifically in Illinois, is at times more in detail than a lot of the police officers who are out here day to day doing that. Yeah. And then, in fairness, these guys are scared. Ladies are scared. I mean, it's definitely a fucked up thing. And now that we have, but now that everything is, well, not everything, but the broadcasting and the recording and, you know what I mean? But the whole fucked up part about it is this, and I don't want to say they, but somehow or another the accountability is held to a lesser standard. Right.
Yeah, because I think that's a fucked up thing, right? Like, I think at the end of the day, when we look at this case too, like everyone's gonna point to different things, like, oh, he did have a gun, whatever. Like, all that is gonna get brought up, right? Like
they were saying, like, and again, I don't know all the facts, but yes, they were saying like somebody gave him the gun, like
he was with the cat who was 21.
Right, and they were like, "Hold this" or some shit, or so. I don't know. We weren't there.
Somebody mentioned it. I saw that on like social media. Somebody mentioned it, saying like it was probably like a scenario where like a OG do it to the shorty.
Yeah, somebody hit this. Hey, hold this. They ain't gonna check you. Right. You know what I mean? Blah blah blah.
Hey, but hold on. Didn't I thought they found him with a pistol?
He tossed it.
They found it.
It was like,
but that footage didn't show that.
That's well, he didn't toss it. When they, bro, and again, I hope I'm not a lawyer and I didn't.
Maybe we shouldn't even speak on it.
Yeah. No. Speak on it from in layman's terms. It's public information.
Yeah, I thought they just released information today that said.
But it looks like he. So when the cop body cam, so basically, I guess the body cam is the cop seeing it, right? Mm-hmm. For lack of a better word, it's first person.
Yeah.
So as the cop sees it, and he was like, "Hey, stop!" I guess he was chasing him, or the guy was running, or the cop was running at him. But when he stopped, and when the cop physically encountered him, the kid basically had his hands up in the air and turned around.
He said, so "Show me your hands," and the kid put his hand
turned around and had his hands up. So I don't know if he tossed it when he heard the cop or whatever, but point being, as soon as the kid turned around, the cop shot him, and he had his hands in the air,
and nothing in his hands.
Right.
The gun was on the other side of the fence.
The gun was what, like 5-6 feet away?
That's what they said.
Yeah. And you can see it in another footage. You see it in some other footage somewhere that the gun was there, but physically when the cop ran up and he, for lack of a better word, commented or gave the command, turn around and show me your hands. The kid complied, and he turned around with his hands in the air, and he didn't have anything in his hand.
And he shot him immediately.
Damn.
And
one
then
shot straight to the chest.
They're saying like as soon as he shot him, in some of these other cases, like you hear like
they shot him 10 times, or
like they said he shot him, and it, like Rex was saying, it's like these cats are scared, like they're shook in these moments,
bro.
Right?
You're shook.
And so like
they're humans.
They said he like ran up and was like trying to
resuscitate him, for lack of a better word.
And was like saying like stay with me and shit like that. Like
it was I don't want to say it was an accident. It wasn't an accident, but
it's scared. Like you got a gun in your hand and your finger on a trigger.
Take it 2 steps behind. Take it 2 steps prior to that. But that's also another thing. That's like 101, your finger off the trigger. Because in all honesty, that guy probably did not mean to shoot him. You know what I mean? Thinking about it and like his reaction. You know, I mean, I know you wouldn't say like what's Chauvin or Chauvin, that wasn't a shooting, but that you could see like the demeanor.
Chauvin,
yeah, the demeanor is completely different. You know what I mean? To what Tony was just saying. Yeah. Like he was like, oh shit. You know what I mean? You're responding to, hey, there's somebody with a gun and he said he's going to shoot you, whatever. You know what I mean? Again, whatever the message is, the shots fired and he pulls up and he's running up and his finger's on his trigger. His finger shouldn't be on the trigger, first of all, but it is. And he probably ran, the kid turned around and he was just like, boom.
Yeah.
That quick. Because he didn't shoot 3, 4, 5, not even 2 shots at him.
That's the thing. I mean, it's the same thing with this. Not to just jump subjects, or so different. Not subjects, same subject, but same fucking story.
Unfortunately, different name.
Yeah, Daunte Wright, the same thing, right? Like it was an escalated traffic stop, and like you said, Rex, like it was one shot versus like multiple shots. But again, like this was. It's crazy that this happened.
It's unwarranted. It's unwarranted.
And it's crazy that this happened near where Derek Chauvin and his fucking accomplices murdered George Floyd, right?
That too. And then real quick before we get all the way down there, but just even thinking like, I'm sure most cats probably saw it. I think it was today or yesterday. There's a couple, but specifically I'm thinking like that pickup truck scenario where the cop is damn near riding on the side of the pickup truck and the 60, I think they were saying like the 61-year-old, basically he was like blocked in and the cops are like hitting the car and he's like, get off my car and driving off.
And he took off.
With the cop hanging on the side of the car.
And just rode out, yeah.
But you're not, your life wasn't threatened. Nobody shot. Nobody did anything. And then there was another one I think I had sent to you guys too. It was where
he could have slammed on the brakes at any time and that motherfucker would have gone flying off that bitch.
Bro, anybody could have died in that scenario. A number of people could have died in that scenario. There's another one I was looking at over the last like 36 hours. Again, I don't know how new, but it seems like this might have been current because it was, rotating. But it was a, white, I'd say probably from seeing it was like a 28-year-old guy, 28 to 35-year-old kid. And some kind of traffic stop and he pulls up and the cops are basically on him and he's like, yo, is that a gun on your seat? And he's like, yeah. And the cops open the door and they're back and forth and he like closed the door and he's like, the cops had his gun out and the kid's like, he's like, put your guns away. He's not speaking like I'm speaking, but he's like, put your fucking guns away. Why do you have your guns drawn? I feel like I'm threatened. You see what I'm saying?
He was like, yo, we're about to get the dogs. He was like, well, I'm going to shoot them.
Yeah. The guy in the truck said he's going to shoot the police dogs.
He's like, I'm going to get the dog on you. He was like, well, I'm going to shoot him.
The cops, the cop's like, is that a gun on your seat? And he's like, yeah. He's like, it's my second amendment. It's my law, whatever. Not my law, but you know what I'm saying. My right. I can do this. Yeah, I can do this and I can do that. And the cop is just standing there. And the kid basically, after about 7 minutes, told the cops to put their, long story short, put their guns away. And told them to close the door, and I'm about to take off.
And then it took off.
And took off.
That's crazy, man.
And took off.
Look at God,
Tony B, I'm gonna send you this when we post this shit up. Make sure we include like a link to this shit. You know what I mean? Whatever. But this mug took off on them, instructed them to put their shit away.
I'm gonna put that in the video, Rex.
That motherfucker said, "I'm gonna sick the dogs on." He's like, "I'm gonna shoot them."
Bro, can you imagine being like that comfortable to be like, dude, I'm gonna talk to these motherfucking cops like this, bro?
And he was like talking at the top of his lungs. He wasn't even talking like chill. He was like, "Put the fucking gun away. What are you fucking doing?" And the cop's like, "Damn, you're right." Man. But why is it different like that?
That's crazy. I don't know.
Why is it different? That's the problem. Why is it different?
I think that's what I want to just talk about real quick.
There's only so many accidents that you can have.
Yeah.
My bad. Oops. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? My bad. I figure, and again, I don't want. How do I say it? You have to. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking at the scenario as the cops coming up, I'm not justifying anything. I hear, what I'm saying, how you're responding, but you still have to be. If that's not for you, that's not for you. You know what I mean? That's not
What
the
you mean?
job.
Oh, you mean
That shouldn't be the job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Become a fireman, you know what I'm saying, do some security. And I'm not laughing, making it a joke, but there should be more of a threshold of a qualification.
Oh man, this should be like one of the most highly qualified professions.
But why is it? Yeah, I mean, to become like I'm going to go as far as say you're not playing. You are managing people's lives more than a doctor.
Yeah. You damn near
you know
judge and jury.
No, not even judge and jury, but like
playing is a better word, Rex.
Yeah,
you're playing with people's lives.
Yeah, man. Like you're more likely to kill somebody versus a doctor or somebody having a malpractice. You know what I'm saying? Like in those types of scenarios. And look at the extent of training a doctor has to go through. And I know it's not apples to apples, but
Rex, to your point there about doctors versus cops, like I haven't heard of. I've heard about a lot of malpractice cases and all that, but I don't think I've ever heard of a case where doctors been like, "Holy shit, I cut them like in the wrong place." This cop said that when she shot
the wrong scalpel. I pulled out the wrong scalpel and I cut your esophagus versus
this cop
versus you know what I'm saying? Your ankle.
Yes. This officer, Officer Kim Potter said, "Holy shit, I shot him," after she was trying to tase him. Yes. So,
bro, 25 years in the game.
The fact that this officer did that.
You're a trainee. You're a trainer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So again, there's just like there's levels of responsibility that are associated with it. Right? As a firearm instructor, you have to have insurance. You have not like insurance, you have to have insurance.
Yes.
Why isn't that a mandatory scenario where you're liable as a law enforcement officer? Right? Take out that insurance.
That's a great question, man.
I mean, these are just simple, not saying simple things, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Man. And guys, I want to talk to you guys about this too, man, because I think this is important to acknowledge and address, right? Like, because I want to be very clear. To be fair, Daunte Wright should not have got back in. He should not have tried to get back in the car, but he definitely.
I didn't even see the video, but he didn't deserve to die.
Yes, but fact of the matter is, yes, he did not deserve to die by quote unquote accidental discharge by a fucking cop. This wasn't a carjacking. Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I think, but that said, I think it's also important to look at the context of this too. Like, you guys know this as black and brown men, all four of us, right? Like, what the fucking happened if you get arrested and get put in the system, right? So, like, they say comply and die, but that's bullshit, man. Like, just look at Khalif Browder. Just ask Corey Wise. Like,
Bro,
like.
I'm going to tell you another scenario, not to just off that Khalif Browder's thing, right? I had a scenario. I don't need to go into like ultra details, right? But I had a scenario over 10 plus years ago. I mean, I knew all you cats too. Actually, yeah, could have been 12, 13, whatever. So this was a scenario that basically for, I'll say $1,500, right? I was able to bail myself out, right? I still had to go through the whole process, XYZ, So with that being said, I bailed out like 48 hours after with the 1,500 thing. But it was some bullshit, right? But the thing went on for 13 months. of the cops not showing up for something that ended up getting thrown out.
Dude, they never fucking show up, bro. They never show up.
Yeah, they never show up.
13
fucking dickheads never show up.
13 months of them not showing up.
Yeah.
So with that being said, right, this is,
and they get paid to show up. I tell you that they don't want to show up.
So
it keeps you in the system longer.
Hold on, but let me hear. Yeah. So, but let me and real quick. So I I had to pay a lawyer, whatever. Everything worked out because of that. But if you didn't have $1,500, we'll say, right, which most people don't in cash in those type of scenarios, right? You're sitting in Cook County for just because I know Chicago. You're sitting in Cook County for 13 months of showing up to court, and you not showing up as a from the law enforcement side.
But it's taking up 13 months of your life.
13 months of you sitting on ice. And then we haven't even gotten to the point that it was, whatever, $3,000 to $5,000 or whatever it was for the lawyer fee in between that was able to get everything basically tossed out. So if you didn't have $5,000, you probably would have been sitting there for about 6 years on some dumb shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how fucked up this shit is.
Yeah, bro.
Over we're talking 35 to $5,000. If you ain't got access to that, and this is just some simple shit that, everything is clean, but some bullshit that was trying to be pinned on me of something that didn't happen.
Exactly, right? So something that you did not do.
I feel I 1,000% didn't do it.
And it's fucked up, man. Like, I mean, like I said, man, like that example you just gave, Mark, Khalif, Court, Wise, like these people all
these are just a handful of names that you just know, right?
But all complied and said, okay, I didn't do anything, whatever, and were taken in, and you know what I'm saying, like,
and get lost.
Yeah, and you get lost in the system, and if you can't pay that bail, like
$1,500, that $1,000.
Like Khalif was like a $10,000 bail or whatever, and his family couldn't afford that, so like he couldn't get out, and then he had a probation violation on top of that, so then like he couldn't get out, like even with the bail, like.
So now you're looking at 18 months of just waiting.
Just waiting.
That's something you didn't even do.
And bro, like these guys, both of them were like at like the worst prisons you could possibly be at as teenagers, right? Like, and so like, again, like to go back to the whole complied thing, like both of them complied. You know what I'm saying? Like what you were talking about, Rex complied. It cost him his life. That kid killed himself. You know what I'm saying?
Because he couldn't deal with it.
Yeah. And then it cost, Corey Wise's whole fucking adolescence. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all got assaulted by the guards and the prisoners there. Like, I mean, as kids. Like, so, I mean, so now, like, we just seen all this shit happen on social media because of the cell phone videos and shit all the damn time. So, I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like motherfuckers got to understand, like, what these visuals like repeatedly, do to people of color psychologically, man. Like, because before all these motherfuckers scream, he should have just complied and all that bullshit.
Comply doesn't always work.
That shit doesn't. It does not fucking work,
dude. The cell phone camera should probably win a Nobel Peace Prize, man.
And fuck the game up for all the wrong people.
Word up, Aubrey.
Straight up. Like that shit, man, changed.
It changed
everything. And for people that's been in this country for over 300 years, 400 years, whatever. This ain't nothing new, bro. Like,
nah. They just died. Now it's just easily more. Yeah. Now it's just more awareness.
No, you know what it is? Now it's now the opportunity because it's like not a grab bag, but now everybody else who it doesn't happen to can be like, oh well, that didn't happen.
Yeah,
that didn't happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
motherfucker, that happened. It didn't even happen. No, it didn't even happen. It happens with the currently.
And all the motherfuckers that were so fucking outraged by the Colin Kaepernick protest and oh, how you gonna disrespect the troops and all that shit? Well, they all fucking silent and crickets when this army lieutenant how do you pronounce his name?
Man, I don't even know buddy's name. Karan? No, not him.
Yeah. Karan Nazario.
Nah, bro. I don't even know, man. But we know it. The shit is just so aggravating.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like that's why I don't even try to.
I'm so tired of talking about it. Man.
To get stopped by a traffic stop though, like, and to be in uniform. What the fuck, man? And again, like, this wasn't. I don't even think the cop that did this, or the cop that did it, he got fired or whatever. But it was only after the fact. That might have been the shit that happened in December, and they just released the video.
But it's like, what was even the guy even doing? What was the problem? I mean, I don't even know what the
they pulled him over.
No,
the fucked up part about this is they pulled him over, and the guy is screaming, telling
like
him why they pulled him over because he didn't have tags on it.
He didn't have the tags on the truck,
and he had temporary tags in the fucking body cam. That's how they found out that there was tags in the car. The fucking body cam from the cops. So in their own body cam was when they're telling him, "Oh, we're pulling you over because you don't got tags." And he's telling them it's a new vehicle, there's temporary tag. They're saying we can't see him. It's in, like, we can literally see him in the video. So man, like,
I'm not having conversations with police no more, man. Like if it gets to a situation, you got to comply. That's what I'm saying. Like
you have to comply.
Like if you pull me over to this point and I feel like it's hostile, I'm gonna be like, man, arrest me. I'm not talking
and
to you.
Let's deal with this shit later.
And just take me where I gotta go, and then I'll do it later in public. In front of all your comrades.
Yeah, I mean, basically, all you have to do is just say, "I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions," and then
take the sleepover.
Yeah, basically, plead the fifth and just say, "I don't have to answer questions. Take me in," and then
I'm not answering.
Guys,
and we'll figure it out.
Time out.
No, Beto's accurate,
but we all know that that's not how that should necessarily go. Like when you're actually in that situation, right? Like,
no, I'm saying what I've learned.
You got to try to lead it towards that.
That's what I've learned.
You have to lead it towards. You have to.
Yes, but you can be as but that usually makes them even more aggressive.
Oh yeah, because the whole power, the whole power struggle is like, I'm telling you to do something and you're not complying. That's making me angry, and it's the whole power.
Yes, they act like that's non-compliance, right? So so they act like that's resisting. That's how we get hit with resistance.
This is a lawful order.
Arrest.
This is a lawful order. You have to do this,
man,
bro. I've been hit with resistance.
I was about to say I've got like stories, even just personal joints. I got another 2.
Yeah, when I haven't even been doing that shit, and then this shit gets dropped because y'all can't. Y'all lying.
You got to take it easy, T. You got to take it easy, G. You got to take it easy. You got to take it easy. Ain't no emotion in it, you know. But no, it's. So I had another. Yeah, I'm not gonna go through it, but it's a power thing, and
That's why I'm relinquishing it.
Exactly. You got to. I was gonna say you got to be like Kenny. What's the Kenny Rogers? Arrest?
Yeah. All right. Here's my hands.
Let's get with it then.
Let's go.
Yeah. Especially if not saying if you're wrong. I mean, hopefully you're not wrong.
No, you're right, Rex.
It's you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sometimes I didn't know when to fold them, and
no, but that's because I mean, not all, and I don't want to say not all cops are bad. I mean, obviously, everybody's a human. Not all black cats are fast. You know what I'm saying? So it's bad joke, but
terrible.
I mean? Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man. I think it's like if you're in a situation, everybody can't afford it, right? Like that's something you have to be able to afford to do. You know what I'm saying?
So if you fucking around, you better have some funds ready to fix this shit.
Yeah, because you ain't gonna be like, yo, man, just take me in. Like, yo, remember that motherfucker on?
I got 30 keys in the trunk. Let's go.
What was the name of that motherfucker on? What was the name of that show with the little white boy, Andy Griffin show?
OP.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, no, but remember on Andy Griffin, he used to be a motherfucker that used to get so drunk. Motherfucker would ride his horse to the. He would ride from the bar. Yeah, he would ride his horse to the police station, and then check himself in jail and shit. Sleep over there for the night. He was like, "Yo," he didn't even get arrested. He just went was like, yeah, I'm here. I'm chilling for
I'm
the night.
here. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just
I mean,
lock me up.
Checking in like a hotel.
Yeah.
If you're doing the crime, you should be,
You gotta be ready.
prepared to do the time.
That's
You know what I'm saying? But prior to it getting that, your best bet is to, and this shit might not even save them, but if you can, there's got to be minimal confrontational.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Relinquish the power.
Arguments is for court. Arguments are for the street.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's no point in. Yeah, there's
No, they already got their mind made up. So I'm sure.
tips,
Yep.
guys.
The other tip too is that you better remember. You better remember a fucking phone number too. Like
You
all you
definitely
stupid
better remember
motherfuckers-
that, man. Otherwise, you're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
sleep because I've definitely done that.
Yeah,
Also,
all you
Don't do that.
motherfuckers don't know nothing because y'all put it in your cell phone. Y'all better know at least a couple numbers that you can
At least 2 numbers.
At least, and make sure it's not necessarily just your parents' phone number. Make sure it's like a homie's number.
A hotline.
Yes, make sure somebody and somebody that got cash
Mike
on them.
Jones.
Yeah. Make sure.
Yeah,
you,
and speaking
make
of
sure
that,
you
we got to
pay
get back.
$20
We got to get back to the burner too. Speaking of that, we got to get back on that next
That's
week.
true.
or
That's
something.
true. That's true. It's coming back on 420. We got a
That's what's
special episode on 420.
All right, that's what's
Yo,
up.
snap.
before we close out on this topic, man, I want to end this on a positive note. This this army sergeant that assaulted that young black kid in I forget where it was, South Carolina, for literally walking in a neighborhood, and you saw the community pulled up on this
I love
motherfucker at
that.
his
I
crib.
love that.
Deep.
I love
son.
that. I love that.
Yeah,
Love
that was
that. Love
dope.
that.
Shout out
Couldn't
let's
love
get
that
a
more.
Man,
quick,
you can't-
clap for that community, guys.
Yeah. Beto hit him with the effects. Boom, boom, boom,
Whoa, whoa,
boom.
whoa,
I still
whoa,
love that
That's what we do. We
dope
protect
as
our
fuck,
kids.
man.
We protect our women.
shit. Why you can't
Our
be a hard
sons.
ass a small cat, bro. You're especially
No.
I didn't even know Buddy was like a certified military cat. That makes I'm
Oh,
glad
you couldn't smell it. I could smell it through the screen.
Army sergeant.
I'm glad
Army
they
sergeant.
kicked his
It's like
ass out.
training everyone over in that base.
They kicked
over
him
there.
out.
They kicked him out
They
the
kicked
army.
him out. Yeah, they kicked him out.
Oh, what?
I mean, he got arrested and charged with 3rd-degree assault and battery, right? So
Oh, wow.
the Army's
saw, like, the
investigating
repost
it
of the
and all that
military
shit.
said-
Yeah,
The military said this is not what we stand for. This is not. You
but
know
they
what I
said
mean?
they're
But,
investigating it or whatever, right? So
I mean, what are you investigating? I don't understand what the fuck cats be investigating. You see what the fuck this shit looks like. Excuse me for saying it, but like that's the part that's tripping. Like, what are you investigating?
that's what I mean. Like you saw the video.
Cat's threatening somebody.
You saw the
You
video,
know what I'm saying?
like, and the crazy shit is though, the video is scary, right? Because we saw how quickly this can go. That type of video can go the fucking other way, right? We saw that with the Arbery this video had that Ahmaud Arbery vibes, right? Like this shit could have gone the other way if that person that was taping this wasn't his wife and didn't.
You know what was weird about that scenario, y'all, is that if you watch that video, there was 2 black women walking in the background that did nothing. Did y'all notice that?
No. You
But
know what?
I
That's not
didn't.
true. That's not true, Aubrey.
What happened?
Those 2 black women that walked around the corner,
Uh-huh.
they're the ones that came over and stopped it.
Oh, they don't show that. I didn't see that piece. That's what's up then.
Of course, they don't show it.
Yeah, I
Yes.
didn't see that. Where you saw that at, Tony?
That's the first time I watched the video. I saw those 2 black women come around the corner, and I was like, and as soon as I saw them coming around the corner, I was like, oh, they ain't about to let this shit ride. And
That's
at
what
the
I was
end of that
thinking. I'm like,
video,
man,
those
that's
2
fucked
black
up.
women were like, they didn't try to, they didn't get confrontational. They spoke to that kid. They said,
See, that's
they
the thing.
grabbed him and said, "Come here." So they were like, "You're not gonna win here," and they grabbed him and
that's the
pulled
thing.
him away.
But see, and the way he handled it, the way they handled it collectively is what I'm saying. The kid, how old is the cat? I mean, he's not 13. He's probably somewhere between 18 and 25, I'm presuming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not
16 to
sure. He
25.
looked,
But he looked young. You know what I mean? Definitely he's not in the adult stage of any of our age.
right.
You know, and more importantly, he's not in the same age group as the cat that was threatening him. Right.
Exactly.
So where I'm going is like he played it cool. He wasn't like, for like, in street terms, he wasn't acting a hoe. He wasn't like, oh, but he wasn't aggressive, because that's the part that, for like, probably saved his life. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what's gonna get him some bread too.
And
the whole video, he does not.
He's not submitting, but he's not threatening the cat.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
He's in a defensive, like in a don't touch me, like don't hit me.
Like,
bro.
what's the problem? He's like, what's the problem? I'm not doing anything.
Yeah,
trying to de-escalate.
He's de-escalating. That's the name of the game, is conflict avoidance. You know what I'm saying? And whether you're talking to the police, whether you're talking to a situation, and this shit doesn't always work.
And they're all saying, well, oh shit, on the other side, like, oh, if he was really trying to de-escalate it, he could have just walked away. Motherfucker, why did he have to walk away?
Have to? Exactly.
And get punched in the back of the head? What am I?
Yeah.
Why didn't the fucking guy step off?
Exactly. Like, and you know what? The funniest fucking part about this, I think, too, is.
But that's the problem, real quick, before you go on. Why didn't he walk away? Why do I have to walk away?
Why? Yeah, I think that you're right, Rex. Talk about that. Talk about that, Rex.
But that's what cats always see. Tony,
that can happen to us anytime.
Yeah, it is. But it is knowing. But see, the whole fucking thing is it's mind control. You know, unfortunately, you have to be able to manage yourself. Yeah. And on top of the managing yourself, you need to. You know what I'm gonna say? You have to be prepared to defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't be. You know what I'm saying?
But that kid wasn't. Yeah, you're right. But that kid wasn't even thinking like, I need to be in a position to defend myself.
No, he wasn't.
Right? Like,
but he wasn't. But I'm just saying, like, everybody should be prepared to defend themselves. And I'm not talking about like shooting, killing. I'm just whatever
ready,
level.
Yeah.
Right. I mean that too. I'm not even gonna go into the extreme of it, but just of some sort of way. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
Because it's like, we see the pattern. You should have been seeing the pattern. You know what I mean?
You're right.
I don't know.
You're right.
I don't even know what else to say. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right. No, you're definitely right. Like, this kid just looked like he was just like, I don't even know how to.
He played us.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to fight. Like,
he played it smart.
Yeah,
he played it smart. I mean, because I could also see if the kid turned around. I mean, he's a man. You know, I mean, I'm sure he was, again, like we said, 2021. So in his defense, he's like, I'm standing my ground, which I'm not on your. He wasn't in the homies, not the homie, but he wasn't in the raging dude's grass. He wasn't on his porch. So he wasn't like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Let me get off of your ground, bro. I'm standing on a fucking public sidewalk and I live in the community.
Exactly.
What the fuck is your problem?
Why do I gotta leave?
And he's a kid adult. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, I'm debating the topic with you because I'm not doing anything.
It's crazy, man.
This is America.
This is America, man. And shout out to America, man, because I think the funny part about this whole
ain't nothing funny.
Well, no, there is something funny about this whole scenario because at the end of the day, the only reason we found out about this fucking video is because what's this guy's name? Jonathan Pendleton?
I don't even know these cats' names.
Yeah, his dumbass wife was the one recording this video. She's dumbass bitch decided to record this up to the internets and thought that was going to benefit them.
I saw that. Yeah. I did see that.
Yeah. So shout out to sharing his Karen Pendleton because that bitch must be new here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but it's like, why do cats do this shit?
She snitched on her husband, technically, right? So
why are you being jerks? I mean, I'm an ass at times. Aubrey, you are an ass. Definitely, we know that. And Tony B, you're a jerk. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Beto, you do your thing. But like, why cats be out here really like fucking with people? You know? That shit is not fresh.
Nah.
Aubrey, you sleeping?
Nah, I'm talking about centipedes.
What's going on with the centipedes?
Nah, just one.
In the basement?
Nah, one fell from the ceiling upstairs. And
shit.
That. So, but yeah.
Beto, right? Cats shouldn't be jerks anymore, right?
That's right.
You know? Aubrey, I want to get you back.
I heard it.
Where you at, Aubrey? I'm gonna get you back in the away from the centipedes.
Get him in the documentary flow. You over there filming shit.
Yeah, what were you gonna say, Rex?
No, I said Ari was over there behind the camera over there filming the centipede.
Filming the centipede.
She came down here. I had this dope idea for a documentary today. I think I'll share it with y'all off camera. If y'all want to invest in it, I might make it an NFT.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'll talk to you about it.
I got 7 on it.
Yeah. Somebody got to be able to get to Andre 3000. Huh? You know, just sometimes, man, when you just ride down the street, you listen to music, and it's just like, sometimes, you know, in a weird way, man, like sometimes you wish the artist would dive deeper into like their videos, right? Because sometimes it's disappointing to say like, yo, as a fan, like I love this entire album, but they may just do one video, and if you're lucky, maybe 2, right? So when you start hearing these kind of soundtracks, things come to mind, man. So I had this really interesting idea I'll share with you guys offline. But, speaking of that, like, I think the cats, in that, to that degree, man, like who did that early on and captured it in the right way. The first time I saw, I'll say, I think it was probably Jesus Walks. May have been the first version I saw from them, from Coodie and Chike.
Yeah.
The original Jesus Walks.
Yeah, because he had 3, right? He had 3 of them joints.
Yeah, he had the original black and white Super 8, 16 millimeter. They shot that.
Drops,
it was just dope, man. Then I think Through the Wire came after that, I think, when they was at MTV.
Through the Wire was the first.
Dude, I think Jesus Walks might have been the first, bro.
No, Through the Wire.
No, I think it was Through the Wire.
Yeah, Through the Wire.
You think so, man?
No, 100%.
No,
oh yeah.
I think Jesus Walks was the first.
Jesus Walks. Yeah.
Nah, yeah.
Chronologically, definitely not.
Definitely Through the Wire.
I mean, that was the whole first thing.
Mm-hmm.
The whole mouse
Jesus Walks was the third single. It was. I think it was Through the Wire, All Falls Down, and then Jesus Walks.
Dude, I think it might have been first, bro. I'm looking at it right now. I'm saying. So the making of Jesus Walk was 2006. The making of.
Through the Wire was 2003. Jesus Walks was 2004.
That's what I was like. It's definitely not.
Oh, so a year later.
But it's All Falls Down.
A year later. Yeah. Then it's All Falls Down. Then it's Workout Plan.
Got it. I'm talking about the Jesus Walk. So I'm talking about the black and white version, though. Not the fancy one on Vivo.
Yeah, so it
This
says
was
here
only
version
on,
version
Channel 0.
1. Version 1 was the director was Michael Hossman. Version 2 was Chris Milk, and version 3
was Coodie
was
and Chike.
was Coodie and Chike.
Yeah, that was with JIV and
J.I.
Yeah, shout out JIV and Coodie and Chike.
Yeah, they had J.I.V. as Jesus and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to those cats, man. Those dudes, they've been dope for a long
man,
time.
that's crazy. All the homies were in that minute, man.
A long time, man. Them dudes they've been shooting, and congratulations on their deal with Netflix, man, because, one thing about, if you know Coodie, I don't really know Chike that well, but I know Coodie. But one thing about Coodie, man, if you ever see Coodie, he always got his camera. Like, he always documenting, even going back to Channel 0.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that Channel 0 shit was so far.
Channel 0 was I was about to say the same thing. Yeah.
That cat keep a camera on his hand. So, congrats, man. They deserve that shit. Not because it's Kanye, but because they stayed steadfast and over. I think it's like, they're saying like, 20 years of footage? And I believe they got 20 years.
Yeah, so that's what 21, I think they said. Yeah.
Just speaking of the footage like that, just in the same Chicago vein, and obviously in the Coodie Chike vein, but just even the 30 for 30, the joint they did, definite. I don't know if Kat saw the Benji Wilson joint.
Yeah.
Man, I dropped tears in that. I remember that as a kid.
It's mad sad, man.
Yeah, I remember that as a kid. And it happened in real time, but not to get sidetracked, but just the footage and the content and the production, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Do the history on these cats, man, because they killed that shit. That Benji story, where they laid it out, was amazing, man. And I'm sure this Kanye documentary is going to be
And they was early on, man. Remember they partnered with Dame Dash and did what was the name of that studio they did over there? Remember
Creative Circle, was it?
Creative
Not Creative Circle.
Creative Control.
Creative Control.
Creative Control,
Yeah,
that's right.
them guys did that early on. Like they've been so far ahead of the game, man. It don't make no sense. So those dudes, man. And they've been in the commercial world with like I've done work with them at Burrell. Like them dudes have been around.
Definitely.
They're getting it, man. Like,
and just even regular, just not saying regular in the downplay, but regular cats. You know
yeah. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't know who they was if you didn't know. You know, they don't.
They are, yeah.
That's the greatest part.
That's true, man. Shout out to Coodie and Chike, man, and shout out to JIV and all them guys, man. Good people, man. Good people, man. Yo, I want to ask y'all about this though, like because like like Aubrey just mentioned, like this is gonna be like going back like 20, 21 years, right? Like, so like it's gonna be like kind of giving us like kind of the like obviously like a different glimpse. Like I think this might kind of have like a Biggie type documentary vibe, like kind of like how D-Rock was documenting all that. That's kind of like what I feel like what this is gonna be, right? So like Rex and Beto especially. I remember you were back. You were here, I think, at that time. Also, you were here before me. Like, what was that Chicago like club scene back then? Like, I mean, I'm sure like when you guys look at this documentary, also like whenever it drops, like there's gonna be like shit in this documentary that you're gonna be like, oh shit, I was there, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
man, it might actually. Who knows what it is too? Because most and from my perspective, I'd say like I definitely was kicking it at an earlier spot, but I don't think really Kanye was really like kicking it out. So most of the stuff is going to be kind of sort of behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, because like
on the production side, low key side, or just like him walking around,
intimate type of scenarios at Marshall Fields,
like Evergreen Plaza.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? Because like I don't really remember necessarily seeing Ye like in the streets. You know what I mean?
Not necessarily like in the like club scene, but like when he was like needed to be out on the music side, or was it not even like that? Like.
Because he had for me. I was a West Side cat. No, I'm a West Side cat. So yeah, I mean, like cats. I mean, the cats that we all know that I mean, for lack of a better word, grew up with them and was in the mix. But like, I remember like for instance, I'm saying like I remember as I already had an idea as a mad early, but I remember seeing like Common like kicking it, like hanging out. You know what I mean? And. In certain spaces or whatever, like the hip hop parties and shit as being like 18, 19,
Yeah.
I would see like, obviously, like
Twista,
Don C. Yeah. Twista, you know what I mean? But even like, and even for me, like Don and them cats, I knew Don, like we weren't like, we didn't grow up or anything, but like I'd see him and he was always doing stuff. So like those cats, like the Tony Sports cats, like I seen cats from those places, but I never really saw like Ye kicking it.
Got you. Okay.
Personally.
Got you.
Yeah, and I wasn't here. So that was probably, I mean, if I was here, I wasn't seeing those cats.
What year did you get here?
Side, my south side went to like Comiskey back then at Comiskey Park.
Right.
And actually you're gonna laugh, but
That's
then I went to 51st or 55th to the amphitheater for the wrestling, and outside of that, man, I was straight on the west side in downtown. You know what I mean?
Chilling,
straight, that was that,
Yeah, I got here about 2002. Yeah, about 2002.
Gotcha.
2003, something like that.
So this is interesting to see what it's all going to look like. Beto might have probably had maybe a couple run-ins.
I mean, I never ran into him. Wifey went to school with him, to high school with him.
See,
she's like 2 years older. And I remember when I forget what I was playing something. I was playing a record. And she's like, "Oh, that reminds me of a guy I went to high school with. His name's Kanye, And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, never heard of him or whatever." And then literally, I think maybe like 2 or 3 months later, literally H to the Izzo comes out, and he's like, "That's him. That's Kanye."
Dang, that's crazy.
I'm gonna give you a random story, right? So that. the night, like, so one of the homies that shout out my man Critical, Chris Ianati, you know, he used to work at Dublin's, you know, obviously Dublin's over there on what's that? Not straight. Is it Rush in the Triangle? Y'all catch what I'm talking about or no?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
yeah.
But I don't know what street it's on.
Viagra Triangle.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
Viagra.
Oh
It's like
yeah.
Rush, Dublin. So anyway,
Dublin's.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
so this is so my man worked there. So this was Beans and them. So when Hove and them cats was here for for that week, and it was like Hove, Beans, whatever, the Rockefeller cats, whatever. Dublin's is open till 4 or 5, and so that's where they were going and kicking in there, and Kanye and them was in there, right? So my man Critical was like, yo, Rex, he's like, I know you got the plug, blah blah blah, but he's like, I'm in here with Beans. It wasn't even about Hope. He was like, I'm in here with Beans and them cats, and they ain't, you know, rapping. He was like, they said they got the show tomorrow. Come down here and, you know, meet them at the hotel room or whatever, you know, blah blah blah. So I was like, oh, word? I was like, nah, you tripping, G. He's like, yeah. So anyway, fast forward. So we go to the hotel room or to the hotel lobby, and we meet, you know, Beans and Rock, you know, the rest of the cats. Jay walks down or whatever, and I for about 8 seconds I thought we were about to get on a tour bus with them, you know, and they're like, no, just meet us out front. So anyway, we met them up front. They got us in. We went in backstage, et cetera, et cetera. But what I'm trying to get to was, it was the show when Hove brought Kanye out, and he was like, yo, Chicago, I'm gonna introduce you to somebody.
Oh, put the chain. They put the
Put the
chain
chain
on.
on.
They chained them. The chaining day, and then unfortunately Chicago booed Ye. You know what I mean? At the chaining day. No, dead ass serious. This shit was so counterproductive. You know what I'm saying?
They booed him.
They booed him. They booed this cat. Cats was so excited to see Jay and them when Kanye came out as a rapping ass nigga with a Louis backpack on, and cats booed him. And Jay stopped him in the middle of the rap, and he was just like, yo, Chicago, I'm kind of disappointed in you. He's like, this is y'all man's. You know what I mean? And Cass is like, nah, we came to see you. Came to see you. But anyway, full circle, just because we were speaking about, this was just something I pulled off the top. But yeah, that was kind of my first introduction to Ye. You know?
Got you.
Always been the underdog, right?
Yeah.
Shout out Ye.
Yeah,
shout out Ye. Shout out my man Critical. And shout out me thinking I was getting on a tour bus with them niggas.
That's funny.
That's a fact.
But on the strength, when we showed up, niggas was like, yo, who you here with? And my man was like, yo, Beans invited us. And the security niggas is looking like, who? And he was like, yo, Beanie Siegel. But yo, them niggas pulled up, and Beanie Siegel, we walked in with them niggas on a strength. You know what I mean? You know, I obviously I have no reason to tell stories, but Beanie Siegel was like, yo, these my guys, they coming in with us. So we walked in with Rock, Memph, Beans, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, yo, this shit's ill. And that was the whole day. So let's end it on that. But that's some Chi-Town history that cats wouldn't really know.
Yo, before we wrap up, I feel we gotta close out with DMX, man.
Yeah.
You know, where my dog's at. Yo, like, obviously, everybody know, like, it was very sad last week. DMX, a.k.a. Darkman X, a.k.a. Earl Simmons, a.k.a. one of the GOATs, passed away at 50.
That's crazy, bro. All the legends die early, right?
It's sad, man. Like,
well, you can't even say it's sad. But yeah. Not saying sad, but you know what I mean?
It is.
It is. But I'm not saying that you don't want to not to get depressed, but yes, it's sad that cats pass away at that early stage.
Yeah, man. I mean, you just always think like, damn, white cats got so much more to give or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's what we be thinking, man. That's what's weird about death, man. Sometimes the people that are left behind, man, are so selfish that we always feel like,
yeah,
you know, we're being left behind, or you know what I mean, something
we make
super
it
sad
about
about
us.
them.
Yeah.
We make it about us, man. And
I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah, that brother. It was his time.
Whatever's the better for him to keep that eclipse in that space, because whatever, exit, no pun, all pun. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head, man. I mean, I'm doing that, myself. You know what I'm saying? So like, people, I think it's human nature, right? Like, but you're right.
That was their full life.
Yeah, it's not fair to the person that passed away, right? Like, so, I mean, I think like what we talked about too. Like, also we want to celebrate DMX. I mean, so like, I think like let's talk about the impact. I mean, like the rap game in 1998, man. Like,
so I feel like I've been hogging the mic today. The two
Go
cups
ahead.
of espresso turned it up.
Go ahead, Rex.
DMX, I guess, in a sense, his name fit perfect, right? Dark Man X.
Yeah.
And then I guess if you think about it, at the time when DMX came, it was right after Pac, right after Big, after both of them departed at that time, early.
Mm-hmm.
Hip hop was going, whatever. I mean,
Let's shiny suit era.
Yeah. That's I hate to be saying that shit, but yeah, it was kind of into that shit. And then DMX kind of, I don't want to say it was like a mix of both of them cats in a sense.
No, that dude was. Man, you remember the first time you saw "Get at Me, Dog"? That
But
video?
that's what I'm trying to say. The impact of that shit. That's
God.
what I'm trying to
Dog,
build
the
to.
black and white, like the
Dude, remember on the beginning of that video? If y'all remember in the beginning when it first came out, it was like if you're susceptible to having seizures.
Yes,
don't
watch this.
Yeah.
Don't watch this because the cuts were so short and so fast.
And it would have that flashing,
Aubrey,
silver.
Aubrey, you can play that shit for like 6 seconds.
Man,
it was a game changing video, man. Like,
Beto, you got that shit queued up? We can play at least like 4 seconds of that shit real quick.
and that was his first single.
Yo, that was Lollapalooza.
to the world. Yeah.
That was them concerts, them stadium shows.
Yeah, man. That shit, dog. That shit, man. Whew. And then I just remember even looking at the album with the white and covered in blood. I think Jonathan Mannion shot that shit.
That was the second album. That was the
second one.
The first one was him and the dogs, right?
The first one was just him.
First one was just
him.
him. It was kind of red.
No, the first one was it was like a profile picture of him in red. Yeah, Beto. Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
But
That
man,
shit,
just think about that. The rap game in '98, guys. I want to, because somebody said on Twitter that he was a rookie of the year and the MVP that year, right?
Because he had 2 joints in one season.
One
he
season.
did.
But look, I want y'all to just think about what albums dropped in '98, guys. Aquemini, Hard Knock Life, Black Star, The Love Movement, Capital Punishment, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Those are all heavy hitters, yeah.
400
Those are
Degrees.
classics.
Damn,
Those
Lauren,
are classics.
Exactly.
Moment of Truth.
What's 400 degrees again?
Juvenile.
Juvie, right.
Extinction Level Event.
Yeah, that was a good year. No lie.
Buster, yeah.
And DMX, right? And DMX stopped 2
albums
number
in that
one
season.
albums in that same year.
2 number ones out of all those legendary hits, G. That's what I'm saying. Like he came like a mix of Pac and Big at the same time when that shit needed to be right back, right there. You know what I mean? Raw.
I feel like he had that Pac vibe, man. Like,
he had the ball head. He had the tip.
Did y'all see that Russell Simmons interview?
The attitude, Rex. What'd you say, Albert?
Did y'all see Russell make a statement about how DMX
saved Def Jam?
single-handedly saved
he did.
Def Jam?
I didn't see it, but what he?
He was just saying like he single-handedly came in and saved Def Jam. He was like, yo, they was in a lot of trouble at that time.
DMX was summertime before Jay was summertime. DMX was spring break. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
DMX was spring break for about 6 years, off of 3 albums over that period. The 2 in the first year, the next one, every summer season.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how the suburbs took to him too.
Bro,
The suburbs
DMX,
loved him.
the suburbs, because that was every white nigga that wanted to look like that shit. You know what I'm saying? The big jeans, because DMX was so real, but he spoke to everybody. You know what
Everybody, man.
I mean, it's crazy. Not saying it's crazy, it is, but DMX had issues and he was connecting with everybody. You know
Bro,
what I mean?
think like when you say spring break too, man, like that song with Cisco, man, that was like one of the biggest spring break joints. Like
He was grinding on all types of shorties. Tony B, I know it already.
no, I'm just
he wasn't.
grinding.
I'm just thinking about that video
the
and
joint.
shit. I'm thinking about that video that, and I'm thinking back like
DMX,
MTV Spring Break,
bro.
like
Yes. The ad libs.
Yeah.
But DMX was at the prime of the videos. So just to your point, I mean, the Jonathan Mannion footage, all the content, the magazines, the dogs, the tough, the blood.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? The chants. And then, you know what I mean? You got the footage. No, I'm just everything that it was at the time when, like you said, the shiny suits, but it was so
changed the game. He changed
raw.
the game.
And then he was like
Ultimate mic controller.
his
His
lyrics, and then he had problems, like we said, you know, the problems that was like, yo, the demons and stuff. So like you were saying, like the white boys in suburban New Mexico
No,
is
but
like, yo,
on the
the
flip
nigga
side of
X,
that,
I'm on that same shit.
But Rex,
you know
on
what
the
I
flip
mean?
side of that too, I
I'm
think
not
like,
laughing,
also
but
was like,
you know what I'm saying?
he was like, people like Pac like were vulnerable, kind of like when they were rapping, right? Like, and I think like DMX did it in a different way, like it was like an unexpected like vulnerability, right? Where he was like not afraid to talk about like his demons, like on like slipping on the prayer. Like there's a prayer at the end of every album.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, at the concerts, like
Yeah. He was breaking it down and keeping it real with that
like
shit.
he talked about it in his interviews. Like,
yo, I'm talking
like
about
he,
this shit.
Like said, like people think it's people. He said people thought it's a weakness, but he thought it was a strength because he thought he was like talking to people and helping people. Therapeutic.
I'm dealing with it. To him, it was a therapeutic aspect,
Mm-hmm.
and he wasn't putting up a persona. He wasn't see, the difference is DMX wasn't putting up a persona where other rappers was like, yo, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
DMX is like, yo, this is me. This is dark from my name, Dark Man X. I came in with problems, and you know what I'm saying? I unfortunately, however it went out, you know what I'm saying, in that sense, but he's been always real, and this is not I've changed gimmicks. This is when I was this is when I was in the love mode, this is when I was in the gangster mode, this I turned hippie for a year, you know what I'm saying? Nah, nigga, this is me unfortunately smoking this, having problems, having
this
15
is me, and this
kids.
is real.
That's not saying that's a problem.
Yeah,
I'm just saying this is me. This is me. These are the bones that make me. Yeah, ain't no need for me to be like, nah, it's X.
And
it's
he one of
X.
the only cats that could go in and out of jail, and cats loved him and waited
Embrace
for him.
that nigga.
And embraced
bro,
him.
I don't know if you guys saw the
every time, no
and
matter
if you
what,
haven't,
we always
please
show love.
watch the Drink Champs DMX interview, because man, y'all all seen it?
Oh yeah, I got that queued up.
Yeah, I seen it.
I ain't seen it. I haven't seen it. I've seen it, heard and seen the clips.
Shout out to Nori, man, because like Nori gave DMX's flowers in that episode as much as you possibly could give somebody their flowers. Like, and he made it a point to keep saying it. Like when he knew DMX was like, nah, like yeah, cool. He was like, no, I'm gonna say this, like, and so I thought that was really dope. And DMX has had a like.
What did he say? When you say I'm gonna say this, what did he say?
He was just saying, DMX, you're one of the greatest of all time. And he said like a couple times, he was like, I want you to know, like, everyone is pulling for you. Like, everyone in the world like wants you to get through this and wants you to win. Like, he kept like just giving him positive like vibes, and just telling him how like he's such a one of the greatest of all time. Like, and it was dope, man. But I mean, that interview to me was like, DMX is, the way he gets emotional in his interviews. Like you said, Rex, he's just raw, and like Aubrey, you said it too. Like, But like I thought it was dope, like how he was talking about like even like the new music he was working on, because like he mentioned like on Drink Champs, he was like talking about the new album was finished, right? And he said he not normally doesn't go with a lot of features, but he mentioned
He did this year. He did some with Pop Smoke, right?
Nori asked him what the guest list was, and he was like Griselda, Pop Smoke,
Usher,
Lil Wayne, Usher, Snoop, The Locks, Alicia Keys, Swiss Beats.
Oh, and then Bono.
And fucking Bono.
Yeah. Bono, whatever. Yeah.
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 And he was talking about shooting a video for the Bono joint in Miami and all this shit. Like, so man, I'm excited to hear that album. Like,
everybody gonna be looking out for that one.
Yeah. Dumb question I know is before we end up wrapping, but what actually killed DMX?
I don't think we know. I don't think they.
I don't know. Yeah,
they were saying it was some shot, and then it was saying some reaction. But I was just curious if there was anything that
I don't know what it was. I don't want to speculate on.
Yeah,
but man,
peace
DMX, man. Like, man,
forever.
You changed the game for forever.
He carried the game more than changing it. He carried the game.
Yeah, I mean, 98 kicking in that door, man. I mean, that was like
again,
a pivotal moment of the
Pac
culture.
Big shortly after Big Pun. All that, and DMX was album after album after album after album after album after album.
Facts. Like you said, I don't compromise. I don't make like that. He said I don't make music. He said I make this music for the people that are feeling like going through what he's going through. And he said, I don't make, if it's a hit, it's a hit. He said, but that ain't what it's about, so he makes music to connect. That's dope. So shout out to DMX.
Cool. Well, shit, man. All right, fellas. I'm going to go parlay real quick. Do my thing.
All right, y'all.
All right, peace, y'all.
We'll holler at y'all next week.
All right, cool. All right, peace, man.
Stay tuned for the burner. We coming back.
The burner.
Yo, you've been rocking with 3 Sides to a Story. Follow us on Instagram at 3 Sides to a Story, on Facebook at 3 Sides Podcast, on Twitter. Subscribe, tune in, and turn up on all podcast platforms.